And we are live. Welcome to another Super Galactic Saturday. I'm Jerry Sr. with Jerry Jr.
Good morning.
And we're here on another beautiful Saturday morning here in sunny California. Although it's not too sunny today, it's been winter and it's been raining all week. And the rain finally let up, so it's a better day. It's still cloudy though. But any day above ground is a good day. So
It's
today is
pretty. It's pretty sunny on my end.
it is really
Yeah,
well. You're on the other side of town. You're closer to the beach too.
that's true. Yeah,
I'm further in, so
lucky
it's
me.
still partly cloudy over here, like overcast a little bit. So, but yeah, still not too bad. It's a good day. It's cold, at least for us Californians. It's cold. For
I've been through
some
worse.
for some of you from the Midwest or Canada or something, it's probably nothing.
Or Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but yeah, it feels good. It's sunny in Puerto Rico. Hopefully, it is. Right? I think it's always sunny in Puerto Rico, right?
I know, right?
Wouldn't mind being there right now either. So, but yeah, we got a few things we're going to be talking about today. Some interesting topics, I think. The first thing we want to do is talk about. Let's take a look at this trailer. It's another Y trailer, right? Um, and I think you already know what it is. It's the live action Moana.
Uh,
And it's kind of like it's following Disney's.
it feels too soon. When
Well,
did Moana come out? Came out
um,
in 2016. All right, so that was, I guess,
that's a long. That's
9 years
10 years.
ago.
Yeah, that's about a decade. It's
It
not.
feels. It it feels. It feels like it came out like 5 years ago. I know it didn't,
It
but
does. It still feels recent. I agree.
it just feels so recent.
Yeah, it does, and it is kind of weird sometimes.
Like the remake, the Lion King remake came out in 2019, and the original movie came out in 1994. That's what, at least a good.
What?
Hold on a second. It looks stupid on the internet. Yeah, it's like 24 years ago. There's at least a good 24 years between the original Lion King and the remake.
I mean, yeah, but even that, it's even beyond sort of the timing of it. For me, it's like, and I guess this is the question I've been asking the whole time since Lion King and what's the other one, Aladdin, right?
I mean,
And
there was a bunch of them.
it's just why, like, why are we doing this again? You know, I guess they've done Snow White. I think right. They that was
Yeah,
fun.
nobody liked it.
Yeah, no one, mainly because of the actress.
I
And
mean, yeah,
well,
but the
and plus
movie was also just bad.
they kind of reworked the story, right?
No, they didn't. Kind of. They threw out the original
Kind of be
story
generous here,
and
yeah.
then replaced it with communist propaganda. And I'm not kidding.
Yeah, they
I'm
did.
not joking.
I know you're not. It's they literally did. So yeah, I don't know. It's like it starts to get kind of, and the reason why like I talk about it is because I used to be a very big Disney fan, right? We love Disney. We watched all the great
I
sort of
mean, yeah, we
classics.
literally have all the classic
Yeah, we had
movies
all
on VHS and
the
stuff like that.
VHS. Yeah, the white puffy cases, right?
Yeah,
101 Dalmatians and Aristocats, and
Peter
you know,
Pan,
yeah, Peter
Snow White,
Pan. Yep, and
uh,
Fox and the Hound, and
Fox and that.
it's like we've had all that.
That was not a kids movie, but
Well, well, yeah, it was, but still, they're classics, and remember Oliver and Company and all that.
yeah, Oliver and Company.
It's
Yeah,
like
Jermaine loves Oliver and Company.
I know you guys,
It's my brother.
So for me, it's like I grew up watching Disney, and then I raised you guys watching Disney. We loved it. It was great. And then within the recent years, maybe the last couple of decades, right? It's like they just went off a cliff, you know. And I'm like, what are they doing? Like, and why are they doing it? That's really it, you know. Um, and it's not just the live action versions because it's kind of like, okay, um, you know, you want to do live action version of something, whatever, right? But it's like I don't know. I kind of feel like it's so overdone at this point. Like they did Jungle Book, right? It's
They
like
did two Jungle Book
two,
live action movies.
and I don't know. Well, was it two from Disney or is it two from two different? Like I know Disney did one with John Favreau, I believe. He directed
Yeah,
it. The other one, I'm not sure if that was Disney or if that was another.
that was Netflix.
That was a Netflix one.
Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle. Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
Netflix.
So yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
But still,
So
it's like
still, yeah, they came out around the same period.
to
Yeah, it's kind of weird, and that's what I mean. Like I
be
don't.
fair, they did a live action Jungle Book in like the '90s. So
Yeah, I believe, but it wasn't Disney though, right? I
yeah,
don't
I'm
think it was
pretty
Disney.
sure it was.
Okay. So yeah, so it's like I don't know. I don't see the purpose. I'm sure there's an audience, especially a younger audience, who
Jungle
maybe
Book,
haven't seen.
1994 film, co-written by, directed by Steven. No, that's is that it? That's what I'm thinking of.
Is that
Yeah,
Disney?
December 5, 1994. Oh no, it wasn't.
It
I
wasn't
guess it
Disney.
wasn't Disney.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with other studios or other,
Oh
producers.
well, it was distributed by Buena Vista Pictures, which is owned by Disney.
Yeah, that's owned by Disney, but that doesn't make it an official Disney.
I mean, it might as well be.
No, not necessarily. Buena Vista distributes a lot of things. So, and
Uh,
they generally do television stuff, like they did Gargoyles and Ducktales, all that kind of stuff, right?
sure, but
So,
that's all Disney.
I
Like
know it
that.
is. I'm just saying, but they did other shows and other stuff through Buena Vista, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
that's all I'm saying. It's not exactly always Disney. That's why it is Buena Vista versus just Disney, right?
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, it's like let other people do it, But see,
Sure.
the difference though is with Moana, it is an original Disney property. I don't think it's based on a pre-existing, um, you know, like for example, the Lion King is Kimba the White Lion, right? That's an old, like I think Japanese.
Well, yeah, it's based off of the Tezuka
Yeah,
film for
and
the White Line.
Aladdin, of course, is Alibaba and his 40 Thieves and all that. That's that pre-exists Disney. And Little Mermaid, same thing. I believe that was was it a Swiss or Norse tale, Norse story, something like that. So you know what I mean? It's like they were doing a lot of sort of adapting previous stories or folk tales or
I
books.
mean, that's kind of been Disney's MO since the beginning.
Yeah,
So,
right. It has been, and that's fine. And but I'm not sure if Moana is. I don't think that's an adaptation of anything, as far as I know.
or it's
Could be
based
wrong.
off of Hawaiian mythology. I don't know if it's
Well,
based off
sure,
any
of course.
specific
Or like
story,
Coco.
but
I'm not sure it's Coco a book. You understand, or is it a wholly original? And that's what I mean. Same with
well,
Moana,
Pixar movies tend to be wholly original. So,
wholly original, right? That's why I went. Even Frozen, right? Frozen wasn't based off of a book, was it?
yeah, it's based off of the the Russian folk tale of the Snow Queen.
Okay, so it's a Russian, but it's a Russian folktale.
Yeah.
But it's not a book. It's not a published like children's book, or that's what
Oh, I
I'm
mean, I don't know, but it's
existing.
a Danish, not Russian, but Danish. It's a Danish fairy tale.
I mean,
So,
it's like saying Hercules is based off of Greek mythology. It's like, duh, we know that it's not based
well,
off
I know, but it's
a book.
like, well, it's there was a book with Danish with fairy tales in it. I mean, it's the same
Oh, I
thing with
see. I
like
got
Snow White, right? It's
you. Like
based off
Aesop
of a
fables or
fairy
something,
tale.
right? Like Aesop
Well,
fables.
no, it's more like Snow White or Cinderella, where it's a
Oh,
old,
okay. Got it.
yeah,
Okay, so it is a book though. It's a published book.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if the original fairy tale is published, but it's been. Uh, oh no, it's yeah, by Hans Christian Andersen. Oh, so it's the same guy who did
Oh,
the
okay.
Little Mermaid. So it's literally yeah. So yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
Hans
snake.
Christian
Okay,
Andersen. Yeah.
that's what I was wondering. All right, all right.
That makes sense.
So yeah, and it makes you wonder if they're going to do a Frozen live action. Has it been long enough? I don't know.
Oh my god, that doesn't need to exist.
Yeah, well, this doesn't either, but we're gonna watch it anyway. So let's take a look.
I am a girl who loves my island, and the girl who loves the sea. It calls me. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know how far I'll go. I am Moana.
She is Moana. There's no
I
doubt
mean,
about
okay.
it.
So here's the common problem when it comes to these live action, quote unquote live action remake. Most of it's animated regardless.
Right,
Like the chicken, like they had the chicken. They didn't get a real chicken and feed it
right.
peanut
They
butter
got
and have it talk.
a
They
3D chick.
just took the previous chicken model and made it high definition. This is
Yeah,
like so back when I was in like middle school, there used to be these like, oh, what will graphics look like in 10 years? And it's gonna be like this ugly high definition version of like Super Mario, and you could see his like nose hairs and stuff.
right.
That's this is that brought into reality.
Yeah, it is, and but the difference is, it's like nobody cares. It's pointless. It's like
I know. That's
the
what I
magic.
mean.
The magic is gone. Right, like it's
Like it's art. Most of it, most of what we saw in that trailer was animated, save for the people. So it was like you're just gonna animate the movie again, but with less stylization. So it's gonna look more bland, and the music is not gonna be as interesting because you sort of gave it this generic orchestral feel as opposed to like the more the Pacific Islander vibes that the original movie had, right? With the music,
yeah,
right? Like they had, oh, it's live, quote unquote live action, so we got to make it more cinematic, right? Because animated movies aren't cinema for some reason. So it's just it's ridiculous.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like
This movie's pointless.
it's like
There's nothing.
Lilo and Stitch. It's the same. Like why are we doing this? Because we can, I suppose. I don't. You know what I mean? Like it's because they can. I mean, I think they'll make money because, I think part of it too, like to give them a pass, a little bit of a pass. They discovered that Moana was one of the highest streaming shows. I mean, movies on Disney Plus, like the most streamed, like millions of people streaming it regular, right? And it was kind of like, oh, so there's a lot of folks that like this movie, so that's why they did Moana 2. And that started off as a series. They were going to just, oh, let's just do a series on Disney Plus. And it evolved into just doing the movie, right? And now the movie, the second movie, I think did pretty good. I'm not sure if it did as
Pretty
well.
sure the movie did worse.
It did worse than the first one.
Yeah, because it doesn't because it was one of those things where it
Well,
should have been a series as opposed to a movie,
well,
so
that's
people
right.
didn't
And that's the irony because it started off as that and they adapted it into a
because the
movie.
story didn't make sense.
Yeah, because they rushed it and they kind of, yeah, exactly. But I think they're still picking up on those cues and saying, well, let's do it proper and do a live action version. And it's like,
What
okay,
proper? You already made the movie. There's nothing
this is
proper
what's
about this.
they've only made one sequel, right? Like at least with the Lion King, they did do a sequel, right?
They did like two sequels.
Yeah, I
But they did a
think,
sequel and a prequel.
yeah, but I'm talking about in the animated versions.
I know, that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
and then they did,
They did Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, and then they did
yeah,
Lion King 1.5. And
yeah,
then they
one,
had a Timon and Pumbaa spinoff. They milked the
right,
Lion King a lot. Let's
right,
be
and
real.
then they did the same with Aladdin. Remember, they did a sequel to Aladdin,
They
and
did
then
like three sequels to Aladdin,
they did
like
three.
direct
I
to
thought they
video.
only did two.
Yeah, they
Okay,
did.
and
So
then
there
they
was
did a series.
Aladdin
Oh, they
and
had
the
a
40.
series.
There was Aladdin and the 40 Thieves, and then there was Aladdin Return of Jafar,
Wait,
and
so
then
Return of Jafar was the third one? I thought that was the second one.
I mean it doesn't really matter. I'm just saying there was like
Well, those are the
two
only
other
two I
Aladdin
know of. That's what
movies.
I'm saying. Is the first, the original one, and then Return of Jafar, and then they did a
Yeah,
series. Remember, there was an animated series
yeah.
that
Then
came
they
out.
did an animated series. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, they did all that before. That was decades before they did Will Smith.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
live
yeah,
action.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. Same with Lion King, right? They did all that animated, and then finally, okay, let's do a live action. Well, quote unquote live action, right? For Lion King. But and
Still
that's just
animated.
it
It's
seems
still
so silly
animated.
because I can imagine doing a live action version of Lion King where they actually use real animals, right? And I think it would be very
Yeah, that's
compelling
called the
if they did.
Discovery Channel, Dad.
No, no, but I'm just talking about to convey the narrative, the same narrative, but it's actual animals. They actually have to, train and coach animals to,
That
move
sounds
about.
like that would have been very dangerous and a lot more costly, and they probably would have gotten to some controversy about animal
Maybe it
rights
just. I
that
think
just
it.
wouldn't have
Well,
worked.
that's true. I think the animal rights thing would have been an issue. I don't think it would have been more costly though. But
Well, yeah, because they got to hire animal trainers. It's
so what?
lions. It's
So what?
lions.
So what? You've been to the circus, right? I mean, tame and train animals is a thing. Like
Well, I know
we're
that, but that's
about
not
going
like
into the wild
inexpensive.
and
It's
actually
not
dealing with wild
inexpensive.
animals. I didn't say it wasn't expensive. I'm just saying they can do it. It's not beyond the pale. They've done it
I
before.
mean, yeah,
They've done animal movies like since before I was born. Like it's not unusual
I
to do
don't
that. I'm
think they
just saying
use
it's possible.
lions.
Like it would have been far more compelling had they tried to convey the story through, if it's going to be live action, through actual animals, right? And I'm not talking about talking animals either. I'm talking about maybe doing it in a way where the story is just implied by the animals being trained and their mannerisms. That would have been interesting. I think with the right kind of director, you can pull that off where it's a beautiful story about animals, these animals, right? And they're interacting and and it parallels the Lion King, right? But it's just obviously way more grounded. And that's kind of my point. That's also the point of a lot, when you do live action for a lot of things is to ground it somehow, right? Like if you do like Dick Tracy, right? Um, they did a live action version, right? And it was just as fun
Right,
and whimsical as the
but
comic,
but
but it
that
was
makes
still
more sense because
grounded
it's a
though.
real. It's like a realistic person. It's in like
That's
a
my point.
fictional.
It's more grounded, right? Because it's human people, right? So you still got the caricature and the stylization, but it's grounded because now there's real living, breathing people playing these characters, right? And that gives it a different kind of weight, right? Both visual as well as intellectual. And but it's like when you're saying live action, but it's still just a big CGI roast, right? Like it's kind of like, well, it's not really live action, is it? You're just making realistic animals talk, right? And move and think like the characters in their animated counterparts, which it's still animation, and that's what it's. You're not really gaining anything from it because there's no grounding in it, right? And that's the point of live action is to ground the story, right? To the characters. So it kind of seems silly to do live action, but it's all 100% CGI. It's like, yeah, what are we doing here?
So it's not live action.
Right,
That's
exactly.
the
It's
point.
not.
Yeah,
It's just another animated version of the same story.
but
You
but worse. It's like why would I want to watch? Because the thing with especially with the Lion King is like another reason why it's not going to work. Even if you did try to use real animals, is that part of what made the Lion King great to watch was how expressive the characters are. Right? You don't get that with real animals. You don't get that with
Right.
trying to
Well,
make hyper realistic CI lions.
yeah, I
Right?
agree.
Like Lion
Here's
King
the
is
thing,
not
though,
the
with
same kind of story with as you can't just do what they did with Babe for the Lion King because the Lion King is a
no,
completely different type
yeah,
of story
yeah.
with Babe.
That's the point I'm making though is it's a different, whole different tone in the feel, but I think it could still be a compelling story because
No,
you're
I don't think
conveying
so.
it in a very different way. You're using real animals in a real setting, and you're going to tell a story in a very different, more grounded way. That's the point I'm making. It's like
Right, but
Jungle Book, even though a lot of it was CGI, but it's still grounded in a very strong realism. All the animals looked like animals and behaved like animals. And, right, there was a visual and a intellectual weight, right? And I think that can be done with Lion King without the heavy CGI. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to have talking lions to tell the story. You understand? That's all I'm talking about. You don't have to have talking animals to tell the story. You just have the animals convey the story and how they act and what they do. Right? It's not beyond the pale. And
sure, but is that that's is that gonna be fun to watch?
I think so. I think people like animals. Believe it or not, people like animals, and they love good stories.
Trust
And
me,
I
I
think
know
they'll
that
be
I
willing
know
to
people like
watch it
animals,
if
but
it's
that's not the
marketed well and if it's presented well. You have to execute it in a manner that's compelling. But like, just think about Primal, even though that's animated, right? Nobody talks in that series, yet it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful series about friendship between man and beast.
sure, but that's also animated.
I know I just said that. I know it's animated, but he's telling a story without dialogue. That's Do you understand? You can tell the story without dialogue. That's the point I'm making. You can tell a story without any of your characters saying anything. That's the point. So you can do that even with live action. That's what I'm saying. And with the right kind of direction, you can tell a story like Lion King with real animals, right? You have to. It'll be a huge production, but it's possible and doable. And I don't think it's going to cost more necessarily than the CGI. If you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, you're talking about 250, $350 million. And that's 250 just above board, like what you know about. We're not even talking about below board, where all the different craft services, whatever, right? All the bureaucracy. It's like you're talking about 500 million anyway for CGI. So I think you can pull it off live action with about that much, right? Like, it's not beyond the pale. That's what I'm saying. The cost is not going to be astronomical, you know, no more so than it usually is. So, but that's if they actually want to create art. And that's kind of what I'm getting at is they could do it, but they're not, because they're not trying to create something artistic. They're it's called a money grab, right? Cash grab. So that's kind of what Moana is. Mecha Missionary mentions that they're supposed to be doing a Moana 3. So they're going to do another animated Moana 3. So they do a live action Moana remake. So, okay. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the biggest part of the problem, though, is not that they're making these. The problem is that they're making money from it. That's the real problem.
I don't understand.
They're If they keep making money from doing live action remakes, they're going to keep.
Oh, the live action specifically.
Yeah, they're going to keep making them. Like, as simple as that. So if people keep going to see it, they're going to keep making it. That's how it works. You know, whether we like it or not. I don't like it. I haven't seen a live action remake yet because I don't care. Like, it's like I like the originals. Why am I going to waste time? You know, to me it doesn't make sense. Like, I think I caught the Jungle Book one, but that was on streaming. So, and it was okay, but I'm like, I still like the original.
I mean, whenever I see these, this is the only thing that always comes to mind. It's just this. Oh,
Congratulations, Mr. Krabs.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
Money.
That's it. That's all that's happening.
He said money. Yeah, I mean, I agree. So I'm saying it's unfortunate, but that's what it is. I just wish, I don't know, there was more to it. Like,
there will never be more to it.
yeah,
It's just
you know,
money.
but it's like, yeah, it's not. It's just
This doesn't look artistically better.
no, it
This
doesn't.
doesn't this doesn't add anything to the lore. It's just we built another Moana next to the first one, and that's it. That's all I have. It's just Krusty Krab too.
It
That's
is.
all this is. Yeah, exactly. Spaceballs merchandising. But yeah, that's all this is.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. Yeah, it's like, I guess,
And there's nothing wrong with like building a brand and stuff like that, but like it's not being done. I don't know. I feel like it's not being done in a meaningful way because it's like it's too soon for a live action remake, and like usually these, like I said, these remakes don't add anything meaningful that didn't already exist in the first movie, so it just feels pointless, and that's my main problem. So I mean, let us know what you guys think, but yeah, it's I mean, my opinion is not going to change for any of these movies.
yeah, I agree. It just seems, like I said, it's like, why? Just money, I guess. And that's kind of, I don't know. It's a bit demoralizing, I suppose. You know,
Well,
it's like, because I like to think that when a studio greenlights something, that, yeah, hey, we can make a lot of money from this because there's a big fan base. But also, hey, it's about time. This thing deserves this sequel or whatever. Like the fans have been clamoring for this. You follow what I'm saying? Like, there's more to it than just let's make money, but it's also the fans want it. Like, there's a demand. Like, yeah, right. Um, Kind of like the initial, first run of Star Wars. Like, we got three because it's like, yeah, we want more. Like, we want the rest of the story.
yeah,
It was more than just, you know, let's capitalize off of this IP, and give them something they didn't ask for. It's no, let's give them. They want more. Let's give them more, right? You know,
yeah.
um, but it's since become, uh, just, yeah, Mr. Krabs. You
Just
It's
because
just
Krusty,
it's just
it's
Mr.
just
Krab,
Krusty Krab too.
Krusty Krab too, and it's like, and there's no reason for it. That's the thing. Like, what makes that scene in SpongeBob so funny is that he made a second one because reasons. Like, he literally didn't need another one. It was
No, he
just
didn't.
his logic is, if there's two Krusty Krabs, that's twice the money. Even though he hasn't even filled the capacity of the first one, right? You
Yeah,
understand? Like, the actual capacity of the first one hasn't been met anyway. But he's not thinking like that. He's thinking in terms of just having more for more's sake, right? And
yeah,
that's what we're witnessing in Hollywood. It's just having more for the sake of more. It's not because there's such a huge demand. Like, we have to get this done. We have to make this because, A, yes, there's an opportunity to make money, right? But B, and more importantly, there's a huge demand. The market is telling us, they're screaming at us, we want Moana, right? So we have
right.
to give the people what they want. It's nothing like that.
Yeah,
It's nothing. It's more. It's like the cart is being placed before the horse, and
yeah. I
it's
only
if we
just thought
make
of
it,
this
it can come.
because yeah, I only just thought of this because Mecha Missionary brought up Common Rider Zets. But one thing that I will respect, um, Tokusatsu franchise. I think both of them are owned by Toei, right? Yeah, Toei. One thing I'll respect Toei for when it comes to like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai is that there's like hundreds of iterations of these things, but they manage to like keep every single one of them fresh and offer something new and different with each. with
Yeah,
each iteration of Super Sentai or Kamen Rider, even like the Power Ranger iteration, right? But
that's true. Yeah, each one is distinct, and everyone is a you'll find it's almost like Star Trek too, to a degree, up until recent years. But everyone
yeah,
is Trekkie, but every Trekkie has their favorite version, their favorite run. Whether it's Generations or the originals or whatever. And the same, I would imagine it's the same with Power Rangers, and the same with Kamen Rider, right? Like, I'm sure there's fans of the classic stuff and fans, but you can distinguish between
but
all
there's
of them.
there's a there's a Common Writer for everybody. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like
It's
each
because
one
each
is
each
pretty
each
unique.
iteration is done with enough care and authenticity, right? That it's distinguishable and unique, and you can jump in and have fun. Like that so far, I'm liking it. I'm not at episode 11 yet. I'm still way behind, for the record, Mecha
Oh
Missionary.
my
So
gosh, there's at
I
least
am,
39 Common Rider series.
man, really, that's crazy. But you could just find one and just enjoy it though, right?
That's
Like you
true.
don't have to know about the previous 39 to enjoy the current.
No, I do like
You
them.
understand? That's what I'm saying. Like you can just jump in and just enjoy. Like so far, I'm enjoying Zets. It's fun. I love the idea of the dreams and everything, and he failed to stop the nightmare, and it actually came into reality. So now you have to fight. That was cool. Like I love all that. Like it's actually really unique and fun. So um, it's like this will, just because this is my official entry, this will probably be my favorites. Right?
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
see. Once I catch on to some of the other iterations, right? But you know what I'm saying? It's like that's the difference. It's like you can say cash grab, but it's also like, hey, let's have fun with this and do a nice twist and maybe just create a new version. So I'm sure out of the 39, each version is somewhat unique and distinct from the other. You know, and has a different story and story arc and all that, right? Like that's all. It's like it's just a different vibe, you know, compared to what we're seeing with like Disney stuff. You know,
yeah,
it's like it's just yeah, it hits. What's the term? It hits different, right? And I think that's kind of the unspoken issue with some of these live action remakes, and the prequels and the sequels. It's like, is are people really asking for these things? You know, and I would argue for most of it, no. I don't think anyone was really asking for a Moana 2. Even though the movie was being streamed heavily, I think that's just indicative of A, the nature of streaming, right? And B, the nature of discovery within streaming for
yeah,
families and young people, right? Because a lot of things end up with a sort of cult following after the fact, right? Like you can name a lot of different properties where that's happened. So, um, like Young Justice is a more recent example, where they have this sort of cult following after the fact, right? It did
hmm
well in its initial release. They got 2 seasons out, then it got canceled, but then it found new life on streaming because there was demand, right? Like the fans kind of rallied, and DC I think the timing was right. DC tried to drop its own app and all that. Then they got acquired by I think it was HBO Max, and so they ended up doing like 2 more seasons. They're garbage, but they did do 2 more seasons, right? Um, you know, the first 2 seasons are peak. I'll leave it at that. The other two, it's like whatever. But it's like they still did it because the fans wanted it, And
yeah.
I don't think they gave the fans what they wanted, but they did do it because the fans asked for it. So
I mean,
that's
sure,
the
yeah.
sad irony is, yeah, they heard the fans, but then they didn't give the fans what they wanted. Sounds a lot like Star Wars and Marvel movies.
Speaking of demanding for sequels, I think you mentioned uh, earlier that they're going to be doing a Frozen 3 and 4.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that's why they're dropping this movie to keep it, I don't know, in the market. But just drop the movies. Like just do them. We don't need live action, but whatever. I don't know. Unless they're gonna do a three. No, they're gonna do it animated first, and then see How to Train Your Dragon. Isn't that out? Is it out this year or is it coming out next year? I
Oh,
think it's
I don't know. I'm not gonna
I think
watch it.
it's coming out this year. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's DreamWorks, so that's not even Disney, and they're you know they're doing a live action. It's like they're jumping on this bandwagon for some reason, you know, and
No,
it's all
it's
because
so
of
weird.
Lion King and Aladdin. Like Aladdin did, believe it or not, I watched the scenes with Will Smith playing the genie. Um, for my, the most famous part, which is in the cave, right? And I have to say, he did a good job.
Sure, but that's the
He's
only
a good
part that really matters in
genie.
the movie. Do you remember
Well,
anything else in the movie?
no, I didn't watch the movie. I just
Oh,
watched the
okay.
clip of his performance as the genie in the
Yeah,
cave.
that's all you really need to see.
And I only did it because I was like, okay, let me at least give it the benefit of a doubt, right? Because I didn't want to see it at all. Because I was like, you can't top Robin Williams, and he didn't top Robin Williams at all, like not even close. But he was entertaining, and I can imagine being 9 or 10 years old, or 12 years old, right, watching Will Smith, who you've already know is the Fresh Prince, that you've watched in Men in Black movies.
Yeah.
Uh, you understand? He's a personality already. You probably follow him on Instagram, right?
No, it was a good choice.
Your parents like him, right?
I'm
And
just
so
saying that's the
yeah,
only
that's what I
reason
mean.
why
You see him playing the
that's the
genie.
only good part of the
You're
movie.
you're probably gonna love seeing him play the genie. You're gonna be like, that's awesome. I love Will Smith. So I can picture, and he did a great job. He really did. He pulled it off. He was entertaining and funny, but it was his own brand of and style of comedy, right? Um, I probably wouldn't have casted him as Genie. I would have picked. I'm not sure who I would have picked outside of Robin Williams, to be perfectly honest. So
I mean, you wouldn't pick anybody outside of Robin
I
Williams.
know that's what
So
I'm saying. I don't
if
know. I'm
anything,
trying to think like
I'm
someone
glad you
current
went with
day.
Will Smith. No,
Maybe. Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe Zach
no, you can't.
Zalkanakis,
No,
whatever how you say his name. He's kind
I
of
don't even know who that is.
he's
No,
the guy. He's the guy from Hangover. The guy with the beard. He's a funny dude.
no, no.
I think he could
It's
have.
not Robin.
He's not. Yeah, he's not as like his comedy's not as like flamboyant, like out there. He is funny though. Maybe the guy
Sure, but
Paul
Robin
Blart.
Williams was
Remember,
funny and charismatic.
maybe Paul Blart. That guy.
No,
Remember
no,
Mall Cop?
no,
He's Kevin James. That's his name. Kevin James. He's funny.
no,
Kevin
not
James is
Kevin.
funny. He
Dad,
probably
you didn't hear what I said. I said Robin Williams is funny and charismatic.
he is. He was. I mean, I'm not denying. I'm just saying, in lieu of Robin Williams, who
Nobody could pull that off except Robin Williams.
well, Will Smith pulled it off. He did. It just
I'm
isn't
not saying he
as
did it. I'm just saying I think.
compelling as compared. A, because it's not animation. That's number one. And B,
Well, I
because
mean, it is.
Robin
But
Williams, the character was catered to his personality, his stick. Like
yeah, and that's why it worked, which is
animators literally
fine.
had conversations with him about the genie. Like, so that's why the genie does kind of resemble him, and like it was created based on Robin Williams, and that's a tough act to follow. Period. Like it really is. So because he's become the template. You know, um, but like I said, Will Smith, I give him credit. He did a good job. So at least from what I saw, that scene, and so I give him props
Yeah,
for
I've seen it. I think that's the best. That's the only part worth watching in the movie. Like you don't like
yeah.
you could just watch it
Well,
on
in
YouTube.
that movie, maybe in the original, there's a lot of great scenes.
Well,
But
obviously, I'm talking
all
about
the
the
great
remake.
scenes though,
I'm
all
talking
the
about the
great
remake.
scenes are with the genie. So
Yeah, well,
except for maybe one, right? But most of the movie, yeah, there's like two great scenes for
the
me.
movie is still the movie. The original Aladdin movie is still great, even when the genie's not on screen. You've got the
No, you're right. It is. It is.
whole
It's
new
it's
world
overall.
segment. You've
Yeah,
got the street rat stuff
yeah.
in the
It's a
opening.
great film. It really is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's from end to end. But yeah, but I don't know. I always thought maybe it's because I'm looking at it from you know old school, you know. But I don't think so. I think even younger people are seeing some of this and they're kind of like, they're not as impressed. You know.
Well, yeah, because it's vapid. It's like it's not done like kids could. I feel like kids could tell when something is done with like I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like with effort, care,
Yeah,
there's
like
authentic.
I think back to like when I was in high school, but I was talking to a friend at church who was much younger than me. He was he was like 10 or 11. He was talking. We were talking about New Super Mario Brothers, and that was for the Wii. And he was talking about how he got New Super Mario Brothers, and he was like, "Yeah, it was cool. And you could play as Yoshi and stuff like that." And like he sounded very like nonchalant about it.
Yeah,
And I was like, "Yeah, but have you played Super Mario World?" And his immediate reaction was, "There's a Mario World." And I was like, "Yeah, I got him." And I was like, "Yeah, and you can play as Yoshi, and you can breathe fire, and you can stomp and cause earthquakes, and these are all things that happen in Super Mario World." And he was just like, "What? They didn't put that in New Super Mario Brothers?" And he was like, he's realizing that he missed out. It's because Super Mario World was made with the intention of being like it was a big deal. It was treated like a you know proper like sequel to Super Mario Brothers 3. So they upped the ante on a lot of stuff.
yeah,
Whereas new Super Mario Brothers with that series, the new Super Mario Brothers series, you can tell that Nintendo was just cashing in on nostalgia. So,
yeah,
they put in Yoshi as a matter of, like, well, people expect Yoshi to be in this, but like they didn't put any effort in making Yoshi like this special thing in the game. So he just has like the bare minimum move set and stuff like that. As opposed to Super Mario World, he could do a lot more in the game. You could like, and so it's like it's the same thing with these live action movies, right? It's like yeah, exactly. Super Mario World is it's literally Super Mario Bros. 4 in Japan. But yeah, it's kind of I kind of feel the same way with these live action movies where it's like I'm repeating myself. It's just adding anything. They're not adding anything meaningful that I can't get from the original movie. So it's not worth watching. Like for me,
yeah.
like if I'm a parent, I'm not gonna show my kid the live action remake of The Lion King. I'm gonna show him The Lion King.
Right. Why bother?
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. So that's what I'm saying. It's I don't know. It just seems so weird, but whatever. I mean, they're gonna keep doing it because people keep going. So when people stop showing up, they'll stop doing it. Simple as that. So, but moving on,
speaking of this, yeah,
I wanted to mention the return for potential return of the Snyderverse that's been floating around the interwebs. That
that's never gonna happen.
well, don't
That's
speak too
never gonna happen.
soon. You know, Warner Brothers is up for sale.
You want to know why that's never gonna happen? Because people liked the new Superman movie, the James Gunn movie.
No,
So
not
they're
really.
probably going to.
It didn't do as well as it was supposed to, and not everyone likes it. It's fans are still divided on who likes it and who doesn't, and why. Right. So it's not an overwhelming success. It did okay, but it's not the overwhelming success that it was expected to be or that it should have been. Really.
I mean, did it do less than the original Man of Steel?
Yeah, it did. Adjusted for
Oh,
inflation,
okay.
I believe it did. And so I think that's a big factor. And so right now, I think there's some bids from a Saudi Arabian company, Qatar or something, fund.
Mm.
And because of that, I guess there were talks from, stemming from that, where it was mentioned that the Snyderverse could be resurrected, right? Meaning once they acquire DC and properties for DC, they would resurrect the Spider Verse and kind of pick up where they left off. I guess I don't think that's going to happen, even if no matter who buys it. To be perfectly honest, because he's got a contract with Netflix, and he's
Who?
been Zack Snyder.
Oh, okay.
He's been doing. He did what is it called? The Star Wars uh, series. The movie. I forgot what it's called, but
Which
um,
one?
Rebel Moon. I think that's what it's Rebel Moon. And so he's got a contract when he's doing these
I've
movies and
never
stuff.
heard of. Are they
Yeah,
still
it came out.
making new Star
Came out.
Wars content?
What's that?
They're still making new Star Wars stuff for Netflix.
No, it's not Star Wars though. I think
Oh,
it
it's
was
not
supposed.
Star Wars.
No, it's called Rebel Moon. It has that Star Wars flavor to it, I suppose.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. And so, but he's contracted with Netflix right now. So
Oh,
what
okay, I
a lot of
see.
fans wanted was for him to, not him, but for Netflix to acquire um, DC, of course, and or at least the DC property, so that they can give him control and he can basically resurrect himself through Netflix, which I can see that happening. I think that's probably the only way that could happen, where it makes sense. But if and another bid is from Paramount. So I think if Paramount gets it, which I think Paramount is more likely to get it than the Saudi company, just because I think there's some political dynamics at play.
I didn't realize Paramount had more money than Warner Brothers.
I wouldn't say they do either. I just think they're in better standing. All of these companies are doing terribly. Just for the record, I'm serious. They're not really. I mean, Netflix is pretty solid, but they've been in the black for from the beginning. And I think it's only in recent years they may have turned a profit. If I recall, I think there was an article about it. So no one's really making money like profiting through streaming.
I'll
Yeah,
be
like
honest. I'm looking
nobody.
at this Rebel Moon thing, and ironically, uh, it just looks like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it has a very Star Wars kind of look. So because
Well,
I
this
think
doesn't. I don't. This doesn't remind me of Star Wars. This specifically just reminds me of Guardians of the
well, Guardians of
Galaxy.
the Galaxy is influenced by Star Wars. So
Oh, I'm sure it is, but
that's what I'm
you
saying.
could you could
It's Star Wars. Like it's all Star
just
Wars.
because it's in space doesn't mean it's all Star Wars,
No,
Dad.
no, no. I'm saying even Guardians of the Galaxy is influenced by Star Wars. Do you understand? Like the look and feel and everything. It just has more comedic twist to it. So what I'm saying is reminds you of that, but you're still seeing Star Wars. Is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's all
I don't see
influenced by
it.
Star Wars. So, well, that's fine. I see it, but I'm saying that's all it is. Like it's all influenced by Star Wars. Like you can't get away from it, to be honest. But they are intentionally using it as a template, as an inspiration. But yeah, it's they're all kind of trying to make a go at streaming, and eventually some are going to just give up. Like I think Disney will eventually give up on it and license out their stuff to other people. I think that's why they acquired Hulu. They have like a 60% stake in the company, and eventually I believe they're just merging the app. So it's just eventually I think it's just going to be Hulu. I don't even think they should call it Disney Hulu. It should just be Hulu. you know
I thought it was just Hulu.
what it was. Now they acquired it, and it's like Disney Hulu, like it's a package.
Uh,
But what I'm saying is they should remove the Disney branding because I don't think it's helping at all. I really don't. It just call it Hulu and just go to town and like make it the best streaming app possible, right? Um, but I think eventually some of these players are going to exit. Like Netflix, I don't think they're going anywhere. They're the first. They're probably going to be the last. And I think what they should do is probably acquire Apple TV, and so they can pull some of their programming and do like a deal. Because I don't think Apple's going to be able to hang in there. I really don't. I mean, they could. They got money. They got deep pockets, but is it profitable for them to stream service? Probably not. Right? It's just it adds to their Apple experience. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
To have that. Hey, we also got streaming. But what will be better if they should just partner with Netflix and then have Netflix included on all their Apple devices. And then partner with them on programming and funding programs and movies and whatnot. You know, that's
Mhm.
it. Like it's just an add-on. You know, because Netflix has a great deal with Comcast where they don't get buffered, right? They don't get throttled. That's why that's another reason why a lot of people don't, even despite all the controversy. And I see it all the time online where people like boycott Netflix. They had this, racist or sexist or homophobic something, or this they had this anti-Christian something, program, whatever, and they say boycott it, right? And I'm like, nobody's canceling the Netflix. Like
No,
because it has too much. It's too. It's like you're talking about a handful of shows on an app that has literally thousands of movies and shows that people love to watch. Like Netflix has Seinfeld. It has all of Seinfeld.
that's true. Yeah.
I'm not getting rid of Netflix. I'm a big Seinfeld fan. I love Seinfeld. I could go home, watch Seinfeld, and just leave it on. Let it go, right? And
Yeah.
I'll be dozing off watching Seinfeld. Wake up, on a lazy Saturday afternoon or Sunday. It's like
Mhm.
it's great. So it's too practical, and like I said, it was the first. So a lot of people have been with Netflix from the beginning. You know, um, I mean, I had Netflix went right before they stopped doing DVDs because they
I
used
was
to.
I was literally about to say I remember when Netflix was
Yeah,
just a box in front of the grocery
yeah,
when
they used
people had
to.
to
No,
go.
you're thinking of the other one, Redbox. Now Netflix, what they would do, they were
True.
the first to do this. They would let you rent a movie, and they'll mail it to you, so you can rent like 5 movies. They mail you all the DVDs, right?
But didn't they also do the red box type thing?
No, that's a different company. But what I'm saying
Oh,
is, and then you could send them back whenever you were done, but you couldn't rent more than what you were sent. So if you had 5 DVDs and then you tried to rent another 5, they wouldn't let you. But if you return 3, you can rent 3 more, and they'll send you those 3. And they got rid of like late fees and all that stuff. So basically, you can keep the movie in perpetuity, right? Because they'll just burn another
wow.
one. And so that was a thing for a while, and then they evolved into the streaming where you could just watch it on their site. It's like, oh, just log in and just watch it watch it on your computer, watch it, and then eventually they eliminated the ability to rent DVDs or Blu-ray. They were like, just now you just stream it, just watch it. So you can't. So a lot of customers were mad because they loved getting a DVD. I never did the DVD. I just streamed it. So, but I remember that's when I uh, signed up for it. It was like about a couple of years before they got rid of the whole DVD thing. You know, so I've been with Netflix for years, like a long time. So it is what it is. But Netflix, I think they're not going anywhere. They're not like Blockbuster because uh, Blockbuster should have been among the first, just like Netflix, but they were just dumb. Like they didn't understand their own market,
Yeah.
and they went out of business. They didn't understand that people weren't renting movies anymore, like at least not in the physical store. You know, they they were starting to do it through the internet, and
Right.
Netflix was the first, and then Amazon came along. I think they offered it for a bit, um, and then eventually people just stopped renting at all, and they started streaming. Right? It was like, oh, I'll just rent it online. I'll rent it on this app, and they Blockbuster didn't get the memo, you know, so they didn't adapt. I think they tried to. I think they did have a web presence, but it wasn't enough. Like I don't think they really just didn't understand what they were doing, and Netflix just beat them out, you know, because it was Netflix and there was a few others that kind of came and went, you know, and yeah, it was kind of weird in those early years. It was like, who's this guy? Who's this company? Oh, they do movies too. Okay, and you get stuff in the mail, all that. Just like AOL. Remember AOL? I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember AOL, but you used to
I
get
mean, yeah, I know what it is.
a CD in the mail, free internet for 30 days, and you just pop it in, install it. That's when it was dial up. And so, but you would get like that every month. So, you know, you never had to pay for it. You would just all you needed was a different email. And
Oh, wow.
so you get free internet. They stopped doing that after a while because I think they caught on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it was others too, like Net 2000, and it was like a whole lot of different. But the one that rose to the top was AOL. You know, they had better branding, I guess. But,
That
so
makes sense.
yeah, but yeah, Snyderverse. That would be ideal if it made it to um, Netflix with Zack Snyder there. That would be fascinating. I gotta admit. But beyond that, I don't think Paramount's gonna do it, and I think they're most likely to get the
I mean,
bid.
do you really miss the Snyder verse movies?
Well, I personally no, I never liked it. I didn't like the
I'll
Snyder.
be honest. I liked Man of Steel at first, but then I watched what's it called, Batman v Superman, and I didn't like it. Thought it was kind of dumb.
Yeah, I didn't
And
like. Man of Steel was
yeah,
okay. I actually liked Man of Steel for the most part. There's still aspects of it I don't like, but um, there was things I liked about it. But after that, to me, it just went downhill with
Wonder
Man.
Woman was okay.
Wonder Woman was great. Wonder Woman was a great movie. I
Yeah,
liked it better than all the rest of the movies. I think Wonder Woman out of the whole
it's
slate
probably the best
is
one.
the
Yeah.
best one. Yep, it's the best movie.
Then they made Wonder Woman 2.
Yeah, 1984, and believe it or not, that's kind of uh, what do you? Well, I kind of like 1984. I don't know why. It's a good watch to me, but you have to kind of suspend all of your logic.
That
to,
sounds like a horrible time.
no, it's not. It's a fun watch. To me, it's a fun watch, but it is a stupid movie. Like it's an objectively stupid movie. It's like
Yeah.
it's like if your 9-year-old daughter wrote a movie. That's what it
Oh
would be.
my
It would be
gosh.
like, and the thing is, what it's little things that would have made it work. Like if they brought in Steve Trevor, if they hadn't done the whole body swap where
Oh
she
my
basically
gosh.
kidnapped the unsuspecting guy,
Yeah, that was
like,
like, what the heck?
but it's magic. Why does it need to do that? Why not just have him appear and he's just there?
Just
Like he's a
doesn't make any
construction of her
sense.
imagination or something. But it's like, why do you need to have it where he's inside someone's body
I
possessed?
don't know.
You know what I mean? Like it's
They
so
didn't need
stupid.
to do that.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't make any sense. It's like, why not just have him appear? He's just there. Because then they did that with everything else. Like everything else was kind of like, here it is. Here's gold. Here's money.
See, it's funny. Mecca Missionary mentioned Shazam, which I would say is my favorite movie from that era. I don't even think that was a Snyder film, though.
No, it wasn't, but it is a great movie. I like.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that was
Like
that.
I like
That
it. I like Shazam as much as Wonder Woman. Like, and
I
I
like
almost
better.
was at the time I was hoping they would do, and they did do kind of a crossover in the second Shazam. Right, they had Gal Gadot show up. But
Oh, really?
would have been, yeah, it was just a cameo, but it would have been nice if they had said, let's spin off a whole different universe and it's just Shazam and Wonder Woman. And like, what if Wonder Woman became his mentor or something? That would have been kind of fun. Like she's an experienced Amazon warrior, right? And
Yeah.
she kind of mentors him to be a hero, and because she's been on the planet for hundreds of years, it would make perfect sense. Like maybe she kind of replaces the wizard in some way. Like, what if the wizard actually stayed dead versus what happened to the second one? And then she kind
No,
of
I didn't watch
becomes
the second one.
like the wizard, and he helps him master his magic and all that. That would have been kind of fun. I think that would have been a
Wait,
better
wait a minute,
job.
if the wizard is dead, then how? Never mind.
Well, apparently he was imprisoned and all that. That's what I'm saying. Shazam 2 is terrible. It is. It's terrible. It's not a great movie. Look, everything from the first movie is
Oh,
there. which is nice. All the same actors, but the story is just it's dumb. It's just not a
They
good
just keep
story.
messing it up.
But the first one was great, and it's like I wish they had just said, let's bring in Wonder Woman, and let's like create a new timeline where it's just Wonder Woman and Shazam, and then then bring in Black Adam and all that stuff. That would have been, and Doctor Fate. Oh my god! So they could have did a
Yeah,
whole
why didn't they bring in Black Adam?
yeah. So they did a separate Black Adam movie. It's like why? And not that they can't do that, but it's like there's no canon in relation to Wonder Woman or Shazam. And I'm like, yeah, why not rope it all in, right? Especially since you had Doctor Fate. And listen, Pierce Bronson being Doctor Fate was like chef's kiss. Like, dude was
Yeah,
perfect.
he was actually really good,
He
man.
was made for that role. And it's like, why didn't they like they just didn't have the vision. Period. They just didn't have the vision. It's like, bro, you could have did a whole magic DC magic universe where you don't even have Superman and Batman. You just have Shazam, Wonder Woman, Doctor Fate, and Black Adam, right? And Black Adam is your big bad, you know. And maybe he could have had an arc where he's evil at first, and then he becomes a sort of anti-hero, right? Eventually, thanks to Shazam and Wonder Woman dealing with him and all that, and Doctor Fate, right? That would have been kind of interesting. I think it would have been fun. They could bring in all their rogues galleries, all that's like Cheetah. Like they had Cheetah in '84, but she
Oh,
looked
that's right.
stupid. Like her costume, like it was the most ridiculous thing. She looked like bad cosplay. Like it was like
Well,
who?
cosplayers do a much better job with
Yes,
costumes
I've seen way
than
better
Hollywood
cheetah
does.
cosplay, like way better. I'm like, and this is a
That's the
big budget
ironic
movie.
part.
That's oh my god, that was disappointing. And her story arc was so dumb. It
Listen,
was
if you
like,
want to see really good live action uh, costumes for superheroes, just go to anime convention or something.
yeah,
Go to
seriously,
Comic
yeah,
Con.
go
They
go
do
to
a much better job.
go to WonderCon, go to Comic. Like, there's people
They
there.
go they go they go
They go
ham
out. Yeah, they
on a
go.
lesser budget.
Yep, and they look amazing. Like some of the stuff is like,
It's
whoa. So it's incredible.
like, what
Like,
do you do for a living? Oh yeah, I work at Home Depot. This is my cosplay
yeah,
of
yeah, exactly.
Stormtrooper number 97 with a built-in headset and working
Yeah,
machine gun. It's like
yeah,
what?
see, yeah, man.
What?
But it's like people in Hollywood they're not very smart. I mean, that's my only conclusion. They're just not as smart as we think they are.
Moral of the story.
They really aren't. They don't see it because they're caught up on the business of it all. And I don't even think it's the business aspect. It's just I don't know. I think a lot of people in Hollywood, I don't know. They're a worldview, right? Like they're in this bubble, man. They just don't see what we see from the outside. Where we're like, just do this. You ever watch somebody doing something like parking a car, like parallel parking, and you're like, just turn your tire just a little bit this way, and you're perfect. And it's like they just won't do it. They don't see it because they're inside the car, so they can't
Yeah.
see it from your vantage point, right? They don't understand. All they have to do is cut the tires to the right, sharp, and then back in, right? Like they don't get it because they're just not seeing it from the right perspective. That's kind of how it is in Hollywood. I think they look at
I
this
mean, I
stuff.
think it's important to understand the business side of entertainment. I don't think
It
that
is, but I
people
don't think that's the problem. It's not that they focus on business because I don't think they focus on that either. I think they just
yeah.
no, because if they did, then they would the business. If they actually understood the market, then that would force them to give us what we actually want.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So they're not doing that either. What they're doing is they're I think they have a mostly pretentious mindset, right? Where they think in their
Yeah.
own head is what people want to see. Like literally just what's in their head with their interpretation. And it has nothing to do with the 60 years of comic books and stories, television shows. You know what I mean? Like like I've heard people comment something and I've said the same thing. All they had to do was look at Bruce Timm's uh, JLU and Justice League series and Batman
Literally.
animated series. That's it. Just look at those three iterations, right? And throw in Teen Titans, for good measure, right? And boom, you have your live action Hollywood blockbuster universe. Little tweaking here and there, right, to create the proper continuity, but it was all there in television. Like it was literally laid out in television form, and they completely ignored it. It's just like Kathleen Kennedy in Star
Yeah.
Wars. She's like, "Oh, there's books," and she said like, "Oh, since there was no books or anything, what are you talking about? There's been books
Oh
back to the
man.
first movies. Like, what are you a crack smoker? Like what?" But
You know what's funny? I have a friend. And we he has he's a bigger Star Wars guy than I am, and he likes all this. He likes anything Star Wars, but he has all the books and some of the stuff that he tells me about the books, where it's like, yeah, there's this guy, there's like this Jedi, and like when he died, like before he died, he used the Force to project his spirit into this mecha, and so now his spirit just is in the robot, and he's
right,
like possessing it through the Force, and I'm like, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard of.
it is. That's what
Why didn't they put that in the movie?
because
You're a
that could.
Star Wars fan. Feel free to correct me, but it was like something crazy like
I
that.
mean, that just sounds
I'm like,
amazing.
that, yeah,
Sounds like I'm there for that. But that's what I mean. You can't get cool stuff because we don't have cool people making it stuff. They're not they pretend to be plugged in, but they're really not plugged in.
yeah,
Like they're not. They don't care. They're just going to do what they want to do because they have their own message, right? And that's what I'm saying. That's the problem. Is it's kind of wild, but yeah, we'll see what happens with this whole thing. It was inevitable. I knew Warner Brothers would eventually be sold again. Um, you know, and I don't know. It'd be nice if Netflix got it because it would go beyond just the Batman, Superman stuff. But
oh
you
my
know,
gosh,
all
there
of
are
DC.
over 400 officially published Star Wars books.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got decades
That's
worth of material. Much of it very successful, by the way.
what are we doing?
Yeah. Listen, man. Like I said, it's not about. It's not.
Like
It's not
literally,
about.
all they have to do is find out what are like the top 5 best-selling Star Wars books, and
Yeah,
then just
and
go
it's
from
a
there.
it's a easy it's a layup. Yeah, but see, it's not.
Yeah, it literally is.
It's not about. It's like this. Storytelling involves telling the truth. A lot of these people
Yeah,
aren't in the business to tell the truth. They're not trying to
yeah,
tell us the truth. Therefore, they're telling us terrible stories. That's really it. They want to tell us lies, so the stories end up being lackluster, boring, and just objectively bad because they're lying to us. Right? Just think about it. Think about the worst stories, right, that you've experienced, not just in recent years, but ever. I guarantee you a common thread is that the story tried to tell you or convey something that wasn't true. And when you start to see that it's trying to convey something to the audience or the reader that is objectively false, right, as true, you'll start to see why there's some stories you don't like because they're trying to lie to you. And I'm not talking about in the story narrative there's lies are told. I mean the overarching theme and sort of message of the story is false. And once you see it, you can't really unsee it. But that's really what it is. Uh, Read the book Invisible Ink. That's where I got that from. Not the whole thing, but he talks about how storytelling is like telling the truth, right? And it's like when I read that, it was really like an epiphany because it's like, whoa, that's a good point, right? What's the point of telling a story? Is to convey what's true, right?
yeah,
Think about like Aesop's fables, right? The whole point of those fables was to convey truth, or the parables in the Bible. The whole point of those parables is to convey a truth, right? Right?
yeah,
Think about it. Even nursery rhymes, right? There's a lot of nursery rhymes are designed to convey a truth, right? To
yeah,
there's a lesson to be learned. I remember as a kid watching like GI Joe or something. At the end, was always a little message about don't do drugs, kids. It's not good for you. Or look both ways before you cross the street. Or
I mean,
don't.
that's more in your face. That's
Yeah, but it's
not
still
really
true, isn't it? There's a truth, right? And what would they say? Now you know, and knowing is half the battle, right? Remember that? It's
I
like, and
mean, yeah,
even on Saturday mornings on NBC, they used to do this segment called "The More You Know," right? There's always these little tips and tricks and different things and how to manage, being a kid or
yeah,
something. And it's like, but there's an air of truth, right? And because of that, you receive it. You go, oh, okay, yeah, like, all right. At the end of He Man, used to do that stuff. That's where that meme comes from. Where he rides off, right? He like drops some
yeah,
base,
yeah, yeah,
base
yeah.
logic. That's where that comes from. He used to do the same thing, right? He'll say, "Hey kids, did you know?" Right? It's like storytelling is for telling the truth. That's what a story's for. And when people fail to tell you the truth in a story, you generally don't like the story, right? That's it. Like the boy who cried wolf. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. It's like that's the problem with Hollywood right now is they've been lying so much that even when they put out something that is objectively good, right? The audiences tend to pan it and say, "Ah, no, no, thanks." Why? Because now we don't trust Hollywood. We don't trust you anymore. So even when you do finally decide, oh, let's give them something good, let's tell the truth this time, right? It's still like Fury Road, like Furiosa, right? I heard that was actually a good movie, but it didn't do well. Why? Because people at the time were thinking, oh, another girl boss, another girl boss. I'm tired of these girl bosses. And then you watch the movie and you find out, oh, it's not really a girl boss movie. It's actually a decent story, right? You understand? Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's the problem. But it's not the movie's fault, right? It's Hollywood in general, right? It's because they were lying so much before that with all these girl boss stories. And everybody starts rolling their eyes till they're sore, right? And you're like, okay, I'm tired of the girl boss stuff. So they drop another movie where it looks like there's a girl boss, but it really isn't. But it gets lumped in with the rest, and it doesn't do well. And even currently with what's the one with Predator, right? Predator Badlands, right? We're getting those vibes, right? Like, oh, okay, it's got the
Oh, the new
female
one.
droid, and they got this ugly, weird looking predator, and they're talking about there's going to be some type of
I mean, they're
couple.
all ugly, but yeah,
No, but he looks,
yeah,
but
it
the
looks
premise of
weird.
the story is, after reading reviews and things, oh, well, he's supposed to be kind of this oddball, right? He's smaller than normal, so he has this natural disadvantage. So he has to prove himself, right? Now you understand. Oh, that's why he looks so weird and kind of different, right? And you find out, oh, the movie's kind of man. It's not terrible, right? And it doesn't have any woke nonsense, but apparently the way it was marketed, I guess, and presented, that's the impression you get. And like I said, the track record is that's what they're kind of always doing, right? And so it tends to get panned, and people just go, ah. Like for me, I'm like, ah, maybe I catch it on streaming, right? That's the problem, you know. So yeah, that's exactly right, Mecha Missionary. It's like the boy who cried wolf. It's like they keep lying to us. So why should we believe them when they do something that is good, that's true, right? It's hard to accept it. So we'll see. You know, I mean, if they brought the Snyderverse back somehow magically, right? I mean, worse things have happened. I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world. I just don't care for the constant sort of how to say the dark tone that's kind of streams through everything, right? Um, it's kind of feels
The Dark Throne of
it,
what?
of the Snyderverse. It feels kind of nihilistic,
Oh,
where it's like everything's just fatal,
well, I
like
mean, it is.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I'm kind of I
that's
think
on purpose.
that's what Josh Whedon was trying to counter when he took over with the first iteration of Justice League, and he still failed, but it was something where it wasn't as nihilistic or fatalistic, I guess, um, in a sense. But it still had it there because he was kind of building on top of it versus starting from scratch and doing his own, which obviously he couldn't do at the time. So I think had he come in and been able to do what he wanted to do from the beginning, I think we would have got a way better Justice League. You
Oh,
know,
we talking about Zack Snyder?
no, Josh Whedon.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think it would have been way better and far less nihilistic. I think it would have been way more grandiose, epic. You know,
Probably.
I think he would have gave us a more larger than life iteration. Versus with Zack Snyder, I kind of feel like I don't know, like everything's just depressing.
Well, it's. I mean,
Tired.
it's like a. I mean, it's like I've been saying is they're giving people who either don't understand or don't like comic book heroes reigns over comic book stories, and it's just messing up the superhero stories. And you can't keep doing like when you keep doing that, you're gonna get more nihilistic stories where there's no such thing as you know objective truth
Yeah, right.
and justice and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem I see is it just feels like yeah, like what is the point of this? Like they're heroes. What are they supposed to do? They're supposed to inspire, right? So what happens when you make heroes that don't inspire anyone? Then are they even heroes? Like
Yeah,
you understand? Like what's the point? He said Becca Missionary says WB is being passed around like a prison so far. Yeah,
that's
um, that's what
oh
happens.
no,
You're the weakest guy in the block, right? So you know, um,
that's horrible.
yeah. But listen, they're not going to be the only ones. Like I said, none of these companies are doing as great as you may think. So, like, just because Paramount's offering to bid, we'll see how that goes. Because I think weren't they acquired by who is it? Was it Skydance? I think. So, you know,
I don't
it's
know.
yeah, they were recently acquired themselves. So, but I honestly hope it's either Netflix or Paramount though. I don't. I'm not too excited about Saudi owning such a large production company. So I'd rather see a U.S. based company own it. But that's me. Money is money at the end of the day. So yeah,
It is what it is.
yeah, I think it is the third time exactly. So
Really?
yeah,
This
I
has
think
happened before?
yeah. It was I think it was Time Warner bought Warner Brothers or something like that.
Oh yeah,
And
that was back in the '90s, wasn't it?
yeah, and then
Or early 2000s.
I guess Discovery or something like that. You understand? So
I thought Warner Brothers was earned by Turner or something.
you mean Ted Turner?
Yeah,
Turner, you mean Turner Broadcasting? Maybe, yeah. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like it was owned by a whole different. That's my point. Like, and then it passed hands at least twice before. So
Oh, okay. I didn't
this would
realize
be
that.
like the third time that it's being sold. So yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
yeah, it's been kind of why that is. I'm not really sure. I think it's like I said. I think part of it is they don't know what to do with, especially with the DC aspect of it. The comic books. Like, I don't think the people that keep acquiring them don't know what they're doing when it comes to comic books and entertainment. Like you know, it's because Warner Brothers is unique in that because you have DC Comics and then they take those properties and through Warner Brothers Animation they produce DC animated films, right, and TV shows, etc. Which I thought was a great model. Seemed to have work for a long time in the 80s and 90s, right? Um, and even the early 2000s. But I guess it wasn't making them enough money, like
Hmm.
it wasn't producing enough profit. Then it wasn't driving comic sales the way they wanted it to. So you know, yeah, I don't know. It's a strange thing.
Oh
See,
well.
WB characters need to be paid a fee to cameo in Cartoon Network show. Oh, really? See, that's another thing.
What?
Um, I thought Hanna Barbera was
Didn't-
purchased by Warner Brothers also.
Yeah. Why do they need to pay anything? I thought it
Yeah,
was all under the same umbrella.
yeah, yeah. That's because Cartoon Network is Warner Brothers also. All this like Cartoon Network and DC Comics, Hanna Barbera, like all that is under Warner Brothers. I believe. I don't think that's changed. Um, what are you saying,
That's
Mecha
crazy.
Missionary? Same with oh, that's weird. So is Cartoon Network not under Warner Brothers anymore? I guess not. That's interesting
That's
because
nuts.
I know they recently tore down the old Hanna Barbera studios because they moved to a different location, I believe so. Um, but and I don't even think Hanna Barbera exists as a studio anymore. I think it's just a brand, right?
Yeah, essentially.
So that's yeah, that's weird. But I thought all of that was still under Warner Brothers. That's why I was curious about why they haven't done like crossovers with some of those classic Hanna Barbera heroes. You
Well,
know,
there was a cartoon called I think Jellystone where it was like it was about like a town and all the Hanna Barbera characters lived in the same town.
oh
That's
yeah, yeah.
that's I think that
So
was the most recent thing they've done with anything.
yeah, yeah, that was interesting. I think I caught like one episode of that.
I didn't watch it. It didn't look unappealing to be honest.
Yeah, I see what you mean but that's what I mean. The copyright issues should be something that's kind of like they're paying themselves. Like, what do like? So I don't know. Who knows if there's a lot of different because there may be royalties to be paid to people. Who knows? I mean, how the legality. And that's part of what drives a lot of this too is the legalities. Um,
Right.
be paying royalties to people because I know I got a buddy I went to college with and he created a Hanna Barbera show for Cartoon Network years ago. It did pretty well for a while, and I always wonder if he owns the IP himself or if he really because he created it when we were in college, so it's his. It's 100%
Oh wow.
his, like wholly created, original. And then he brought it
Nice.
to Hanna Barbera, and it got pretty. He got it pretty. He pitched it, got it produced. So, but I don't know if he owns it still. I hope he does. I really do. So, because that'd be awesome. Because he's a great dude. So, but yeah, it's so that's interesting to find out if that's the issue with copyrights is having to pay artists, the original artists, things like that, the creators. Because Cartoon Network produced a lot of original shows, so they have a lot to pull from. I mean, they have this huge cavalcade of characters and shows and ideas. It's like insane, and it's but at the same time they don't know what to do with it. It's almost like the whole 31 flavors. You don't know which one to pick. Right? There's too many to choose from. So,
Right.
so no, actually, he did it. He created his own unique style. So um, it's a newer show. It came out in like the 2000s. I don't. Should I say what it is?
Are you talking about Johnny Bravo?
I am talking about Johnny Bravo. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess was that Hanna Barbera or was that just cartoons? Because I remember that coming on.
Cartoon Network used to produce these shows through Hanna Barbera Studios.
Oh, okay, that makes
That's where
sense.
Cartoon Network comes from. So
Well, I get that. I
yeah,
just they never really associated like when they promoted the show on Cartoon
yeah.
Network.
They
They really
right.
promoted
They
it as
don't.
Hanna Barbera.
Yeah, and yeah, it's Van Partible. That's the creator of Johnny Bravo. And but yeah, so I hope he does. I think he does. So to reach out to him and ask.
Yeah, I yeah, I hope so.
And that's what I mean.
Yeah,
I
I like.
mean, like he owns outright. Like he can control. So, but yeah. So we'll see. But I don't know. It's kind of weird the way it all works out. It's pretty messy. Uh, when it comes to the legalities. But yeah, did you want to talk about that other video? Um, I think you shared it with me.
Oh yeah, sure. Before I do though, I just want to give a shout out to Masahiro Sakurai, uh, mainly because if you don't know yet, Kirby Air. Do you remember Kirby Air Riders for the GameCube? Dad?
I do.
Okay, so they made a sequel on the Switch 2, and it's probably the best game on Switch 2 out right now. And I'm bringing it up mainly because um, Mario Kart sucks right now.
Really?
Because
I
yeah,
haven't played
so
this, right?
if you remember they came out with Mario Kart World
Hmm.
on the Switch 2. Yeah, so Mario Kart World was supposed to be like this open world Mario Kart game, and and to be fair, like I don't have a Switch 2, but I think there's a lot of red flags, and I think this short sums up everything the best.
Switching back to 8 Deluxe. A lot of people are already switching back to 8 Deluxe. Rightfully so, because Mario Kart World doesn't really have charm to it. I'm not saying it's a bad game in the slightest, but when you compare the two, it's night and day. World might have a kind of look to it, but 8 Deluxe looks more graphically advanced. World might have more characters, but at least 8 Deluxe has triple the amount of tracks that World has to offer. Sure, Mario Kart World just came out, but when these games both released on their opening day, I'm pretty sure I heard more people talking about 8 Deluxe. A big reason being you didn't have to take out a life mortgage to buy 8 Deluxe. The biggest reason people are switching back over is just due to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe being a better game.
And one thing you didn't touch on is that the open world, and this is a problem I have with a lot of open world games. There's nothing in it. Like it looks nice, it looks pretty, but
It's too
it's
open.
empty. No, I mean, but there's nothing. There's nothing to
I
do.
know, but that's the irony. They give you open
It's like
world,
being at
but
the
there's
beach
nothing there.
versus being yeah.
Yeah, at the beach
It's
and
like
there's
when
nobody
you're
else there, and there's no water.
yeah versus being
What
like a
about you?
sandbox. Like if you go to the sandbox at the park, there's like every like 2 feet, there's like another attraction. Right? Oh, there's the slide. Oh, there's the swing. Oh, there's the jungle gym. So you're never bored.
Right.
But this
Yeah.
is like being at the beach, and it's just sand everywhere. There's nothing. And with Mario Kart, it's a lot of the same thing. And I don't have it. I'm not saying make it open world was a bad idea. I just the execution was awful, and it
Yeah.
doesn't really.
It's usually the
That
case.
was the big selling point, and it doesn't really offer anything content wise to make up for it. Right? Like the content of Mario Kart World is not worth $80. Like Mario Kart on the DS had more stuff to do than Mario Kart World because there were missions, there were boss fights
Right.
for crying out loud. But with Kirby Air Riders, right? Also, I just want to point out the character roster sucks. You want to play as the cow? You want to play as a cow in Mario Kart? And
Oh
you got to
yeah.
pick the
It's my
cow.
favorite character. Yeah. I love cows.
It's just a random cow. Like I get the reference. It's from a stage to the background character, but it's like
Well,
who
why? Why would you
cares?
play it as a cow?
Like instead of you know how many Mario characters there are in like the Mario series that you could have chose from, but
Right.
they keep choosing like random nameless enemies that nobody cares about as like the racers. There's literally hold on a second. I gotta find it. Dolphin. You could play as a dolphin in Mario Kart. And it's not like, they gave the dolphin like hold on a second. Like this is literally the dumbest thing you'll ever see. Look at this.
Who's
Look at
that?
this. It's just that's a dolphin on a motorcycle, Dad. And he's not even on the motorcycle ride. He's just cover. He's just
That makes no sense.
levitating over it.
Why?
Exactly.
But why not just create a special apparatus for him?
Because
You know,
that's too much
like
work, man.
design the motorcycle to conform to his fish body. That way, he has his own vehicle.
You're
That would
putting
be kind of
you're
funny, right?
putting
Like like give him wheels on his fins. I don't know, but just
you're
slap him
putting
on
too
top of a
much
motorcycle.
you're putting too much thought into it, Dad.
It's dumb.
You're putting more thought into it than Nintendo did. That's all I'm saying.
I give
And
him
it's yeah.
a mech suit with wheels. Right?
No. 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 Just slap him on top of a motorcycle with no handlebars. But yeah, it's so dumb. And it's like, you know, I'm not gonna go too deep into this, but yeah, the roster characters is awful. But like Kirby, now, like with Kirby, it's Air Riders. Why the reason why everything about this is so great is because it has all the content that was in the original game plus more content, right? So it actually builds upon the foundation, right? And on top of that, there's a whole story mode in the game, and there's bosses and stuff like that. And they
Right.
bring back like every major boss from like the previous Kirby series. And I know you don't. I don't expect you to know everything about Kirby, but it like it's nuts. Like, hold on a second. I gotta find the like. Look at how cheap Mario Kart looks, right? And then look at this. Hold on a second. I gotta find the cutscene because
Mm.
this is insane. Yeah, here we go.
Excellent.
Look at this. Like, why does it look so serious?
Contrast.
3, 2, 1.
But look at this. You fight a giant tank.
This is Kirby Air Riders.
Yes.
It's really choppy though. I think
Oh,
the
oh, I know. That's just
it's buffering. Yeah,
that's just my internet.
yeah,
But
it's buffering.
but yeah, it's like they. It's like this goes so over the top, and it's like this looks badass, and it's a Kirby game.
I know that's what I'm thinking.
This is just one boss, right? Now, granted, Kirby always has over the top like final bosses and stuff like that, but yeah, it's just you can tell that there was so much more effort put into this game, and it just looks a lot cooler. There's a lot of stuff that Kirby fans actually care about in the game. Um, it's there's way better fan service in this game than Mario Kart World,
Yeah,
and it's just there's just a lot more here. I don't know how much this game costs in comparison to Mario Kart World, but thi- I would pay. I'm gonna sound crazy, but I would pay $80 for this game.
that's interesting.
Mario
Yeah,
Kart World in hand, it's just not worth it. But yeah, if you're gonna, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're gonna buy a racing game for the Switch 2, buy Kirby Air Riders. Don't buy Mario Kart World. Buy Kirby Air Riders. Like, as a Kirby fan, this is amazing, and like this is just a lot cooler. I mean, to be fair, Kirby Air Ride was already cooler than Mario Kart, because from the beginning, Sakurai always made it to be more than just a racing game. There's a lot more to do. There's even an open world mode in Kirby, but you know they actually made it more interesting. If you know about for everybody who knows about City Trial, but yeah, it's just buy Kirby Air Riders, please. Don't buy Mario Kart World. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. I know I was rambling, but it just boggles my mind. Like
This is not a paid
how
advertisement.
no, it's not. We're not sponsored
We
by
are not
Sora
sponsored.
Limited. But no, it's just yeah, that is true. Kirby Air Ride was planned for the N64, although that was a completely different kind of game at the time. But um but yeah, it's just crazy because like this isn't a issue. This is the issue with Pokemon 2, where it's like they put in like the bare minimum of effort, and they're hoping that you're too nostalgic to notice that you're paying $80 for like literally like just for nothing, and
for
it's
less than
ridiculous.
yeah. You're paying more to
Yeah,
get less, where when in the past you paid less and got more.
yeah,
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's kind of weird.
yeah. But
I think
thankfully, Kirby Air Riders is looking to be the exception. But I mean,
it's
Sakurai has never really disappointed. I mean, he created Smash Brothers. He made the best Kid Icarus game. He made Kirby Air Ride. I have no complaints here.
we'll see. That seems to be a trend. Paying more to get less. So let's hope in the video game
Yeah,
space
unfortunately, yeah.
uh, that will be rare, but we'll see. But yeah, oh yeah, I
Hey,
was gonna
you
bring up
mentioned the video I showed you about
yeah.
that
It's
one
called,
movie that came out. When did that movie come out? It was
I
like
think
2 years
last
ago,
year.
right?
Yeah,
Was it
and
last year?
I think it was last year, or the year before.
The
It's
the House
the
of Magical Negroes or whatever it was called.
yeah Society of Magical.
Yeah, the Society of Magical
Yeah,
Negroes.
and it was this video. Greg Owen. It's called "When Racist Victim Bait Debunks Itself." So it's an interesting video, and I like the
Yeah,
points he's
go
making.
watch it.
Yeah, go
I
watch
like
it.
his
Just
stuff.
shout out to him. I don't want to like just play his video, but I wanted to point out his channel and everything. And check it out.
Yeah, he's
But
pretty
he makes
funny. He's got some good dad jokes, and
yeah, yeah. He's a funny guy. Yeah,
he's a great philosophy buff. So I like his stuff.
yeah. So check it out. I watched it. I liked it a lot, and he made some great points about how um, the movie tries to be something that it's but fails at doing it.
It's trying to address a problem that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
That's the main issue.
it's creating these issues that are. It's kind of a movie about what's been coined as microaggressions, right? And and it does a terrible job of because I can give you some leeway with the idea of microaggressions if you can cite specific examples of it, right? And I'm sure there are instances where someone will say something about an individual that is probably inappropriate, right? Based on whatever, and whatever race or ethnicity you happen to be, you know, I can see that, right? And you can say that's a microaggression because that's something maybe they should have understood the nuance and they didn't, right? Whatever the case may be, and that's fine. I'm sure there's like valid gripes, but the movie itself doesn't really address those gripes, and it's very obviously very one-sided, right? It automatically characterizes all white people as all people that aren't black as white people. That's number one, but B as being racist, right? And being racist in a way that is that somehow excludes black people. And one thing he points out in relates to the director, which I didn't know this because I really never indulged in the movie at all. Um, is that he's someone who is half black and half white. Um,
Yeah.
and so that's why he cast the actor he did, and he's the guy from the Pokemon movie, right?
Yeah,
Um,
he is.
I can't remember his name, and he did
Um,
the show on Netflix. Remember?
yeah,
Uh,
Justice Smith.
yeah, Justice Smith, The Get Down, which was great. I love that movie. He was great in that, actually. Yeah, Justice Smith, and so he's also mixed race, like half black, half. I think he might be half Puerto Rican or something. But in any case, so he it's a self insert of what he perceived to be his experiences, I guess, with white people in real life. Which, to be honest and fair to him, maybe he did go through some. Maybe he met some people who were jerks, right? Who mistreated him or said some things that were inappropriate or offensive, or because of him being mixed race. Maybe he did, and but the problem is he ascribed that behavior to all white people versus to the people that he directly interacted with, right? And that tends to be the sort of the common denominator I see with people that I know personally and I talk to, where they have a gripe about white, quote unquote white people, but then when you hear their conversation, you find out it's a white person that that they have a problem with, but they
Yeah.
ascribe that person's behavior to all. And I'm like, well, you're kind of doing to them what we accuse them of doing to us, right? Where they take one experience they have with a black person as negative and they apply it to all black people, right? Like, isn't that, and it's like, that's kind of the problem. And the difference is this guy made a movie about it. And they called it Society of Magical Negroes, whatever. So it's kind of a strange um, dynamic that he conveys in the movie. And like I said, Greg Owens, he breaks it down really well, and I think he makes some great points about it. Um, so check it out and give it a watch, because it's nice hearing it from a different perspective.
Yeah, it's nice hearing it from a white guy.
Yeah, from a white guy who's kind of just watching it from the quote unquote from the outside, right? Or whatever. You know,
But in all seriousness, though, to speak on the movie, because I've seen some clips, and it's really, the movie is really stupid, and
yeah, I've
there's a
watched
reason
the
why the movie is
trailers
stupid.
and I've watched a couple of even in the video he does play some clips, and it's like he makes his argument well. It's like, yeah, this is kind of dumb. Like,
Well,
like
here's the thing: even without listening to his argument, it's like you could tell from the get go, from watching the movie, that the directors never really experienced any real sort of hardship. At least not the type that he's trying to convince us that he has. Because here's the
yeah,
thing: the main
yeah,
character, right? He's this biracial man, and he's in a museum. The movie starts out in a museum, and he's showing off his, quote unquote yarn sculpture. And you're like, what is a yarn sculpture? And it's not even a sculpture. It's
it's
just
literally
a
just
bunch
yarn
of yarn
hanging up on the
that
line.
he put. Like, listen, I learned how to knit. All right. I know people who make really good, you know, stuff with crochet and yarn and stuff like that. All right. This is just him laying
Literally just
pieces
hanging
of
yarn
string
on the line. Yeah,
on the wall,
yeah. It's
right?
not
And
even.
he's like,
It's not
"Oh
even. It's
well,
not weaved
I
into
just
anything specific.
yeah,
It's not a blanket. It's not a sweater. It's literally just raw
yeah,
yarn just hanging. And
yeah."
and
And
my
he's and
question
he's and
is,
he's
in the
just sitting
movie,
there. Well,
do they
hold on
even
a second,
somehow
because
tie it in somehow? Like, is there a theme?
no, they don't. They
Yeah,
just they
that's what I'm
just
saying. Like,
demand.
they don't
Here's
even
the
like.
thing: they just demand you feel sorry for him. Like, oh,
Well,
I just want people to
yeah,
get me, and it's like,
yeah. I just want
God,
people to
I've
understand.
never wanted to hit someone so bad in my entire life.
Yeah,
Like,
it's really
because I
bad.
met, like, listen, you don't understand it. I went to film. Well, I mean, you probably do understand. I went to film school, and I've met people like this, and it's so frustrating because, like, they think that, oh, I have, like, I deserve attention because I'm creative, or I perceive myself to be creative, and it's just like, that's just
Yeah.
not how that
Well,
works.
Yeah, well, not just creative, but I'm talented, but you just don't understand.
Yeah,
You don't understand my talent.
it's like
'Cause that's what he says. He's like, I just want to be understood. And it's like, okay, I think that's relatable, but then you're giving people something that is beyond comprehension.
yeah,
It's like a Banksy, right? Like one of it he did where he taped the banana to the wall, right? And he put a frame around it. And then
well,
it's like,
isn't Banksy the guy who does
yeah, he does
the
stupid art.
graffiti though?
He does what?
Oh, I'm thinking of someone else then.
No, it's the guy
Isn't
that
no
does all the
Banksy? He's
he
the one
he,
who does this
he does a lot of postmodern garbage. Yeah.
well, no, no,
He-
no. Yeah, I think you're thinking of someone else. That
no,
Banksy
I'm not.
is he does murals and stuff.
Yeah, he does murals too, but he's also done garbage, like postmodern nonsense.
Because the
So
banana
my,
thing,
my,
I
my,
don't know if that was
my
Banksy. I get
point
your
is,
point. I just
yeah, is that that's incomprehensible, right? Like you can say, what's the message? Well, it's whatever you want. You're just making something up, right? That's pretty much most of postmodern art, and that's kind of what he's doing in the movie, where he's just throwing yarn. He's saying, "I want to be understood." That's like, but you're literally making something that no one understands. You know what I
my
mean?
God,
Like
what's
it's like you're not even creating something that has any form or meaning. You're just throwing yarn on a line, and then people are supposed to go, "Ooh, that's deep." And that's what's so pretentious about this movie. It's like, what are you talking about? You're not even making the effort to communicate to people what you're about.
right?
But you were supposed to go, oh, we understand you. Well, how can we understand you if you're in China and you walk around speaking German? Who's going to understand you? Probably not many people,
Yeah,
right? That's what he's doing. He's walking around in China speaking German and says people don't understand. He's mad, right? Like it's the most ridiculous scene uh, I've ever seen in a movie, right? It's like because he's talking to the museum curator, and she's like, "You got to make something that sells, right?" Like you know, he's like, "That's it. Like make something that people want to buy."
yeah.
Like you're like, I don't care if people buy it or not. I just want to be understood. It's like, well, you need to care because how do you expect to keep putting up your art somewhere where you're not even paying for the space? Like you're supposed to sell art so that I stay in business. you know, it's like so crazy, man. Like, what are you talking about? But this is like representative of the movie itself overall. Like it's just like
But
you're
also
just
like the way the
accepting
movie like
saying
manufactures
truth.
conflict. It's like it's
Yeah, it
completely
does.
unrealistic, right? Because it's just like nobody is actually being racist towards him. He's just being
Exactly. Right.
insecure.
There's literally no racism in the entire movie. Like
Yeah,
there's nothing. It's just people, everyone else beyond the main characters being normal, and the main characters calling everyone else that's normal abnormal.
yeah.
You're racist because you looked at me too long. Like that's literally a scene. It's wild. It's like what are we doing here? Like what is this movie supposed to be? It's very odd. So, but yeah, watch his commentary. It's kind of hilarious, and he makes a lot of great points because it's like look, the beauty you know of our country is freedom, right, and freedom of speech. So if you want to make a movie about imagined racial slights, you're free to do that, but we don't have to watch it, right? So,
Yeah.
but we are free to criticize it as much as we want, And I think a movie like this deserves as much criticism as possible, right? Um, because it's just terrible. It's like what is happening here? And it's like going back to what I was saying earlier about storytelling is about telling the truth. This is a story that tells you lies, and uh, that's why I think that's a big reason why it didn't do very well. It wasn't well received at all. It
Yeah.
really didn't get any support, even from you know uh, what's supposed to be, I guess, its target audience. I don't know, black people or whatever, but because
Yeah, I'm guessing it's black people.
I think it presumes way too much, right? Um, and a lot of people just didn't fall for it. Like, oh, I'm not falling for that. You know, you're not telling me that lie, and that's really what happened. You know,
Yeah.
they tried to tell a big lie, and people didn't go for it. It's like I don't believe that lie. So that's why they do well. Simple
No.
as
Yeah.
that. So yeah, but I wanted to bring it up because I thought that was a great commentary again. So it's like check it out. So it's Greg Owen once again, YouTube channel when racist victim bait debunks itself. Excellent, excellent video. So, but that's all
Yeah.
I have for today. I don't know if you want to bring up anything else, but
Well, I was just gonna say I'm reminded of a clip from interview with he was a famous civil rights activist in the 60s. A lot of people like to quote him about uh, being black in America and stuff like that. In America, quote, and if I can remember his name, oh, James Baldwin. There we go. Yeah, James Baldwin. But yeah, a lot of people, respect James Baldwin and stuff like that. But I remember watching uh, it was like a clip from an interview he did on TV, and there were people, and there was this guy, and he was critiquing a book he wrote, and like James Baldwin got upset that he was critiquing his book, and he was like trying to like insinuate that he's racist, and the guy was like, "Well, listen, you put out a book, and I'm treating it equally as any other book by criticizing it," you know. And it's just so funny, and I gotta find a clip. I know for sure that it's on uh, Chad O. Jackson's channel. If anybody doesn't know who Chad O. Jackson is, he's a political
yeah,
commentator and entrepreneur. But he's the one who shared the clip. But it's just funny how it's like nothing ever changes, man. It's it's so tiring.
it is tiring.
It's exhausting. But yeah, I just found that interesting.
Yeah, that's
But
facts.
yeah, I mean, I think ultimately the lesson I got out of watching uh, American Society of Mystical Negroes, whatever it's called, is get out of your own head. Get out of your
Yeah,
own head.
get out of your own head,
Um,
especially when you're like. I think the movie could have had a interesting commentary on racial relations in America if it didn't try to hammer it in so hard and be so ham-fisted with the messaging and so on the nose and so direct and blunt and to the point where it just became absurd versus let's rely on nuance and trust that the audience is smart.
well,
You
what's
understand?
funny is that it unintentionally had a lot to say about the dangers of ego and being self-absorbed. Is that
Right,
you
but
end up
it
making
was
people
projecting
uh,
it onto white people.
well, no, I'm saying that it unintentionally
Yeah,
had
I
something
know.
to
Yeah,
say about. Because the thing is that a lot of the problems stem from his own head. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid of white people. He was afraid of the preconception of white people that he are this fictional version of white people that he already made up in his head.
right. Well, it's the
Right?
director injecting his perceived slights into the movie. Like
Well,
that.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking on the
No,
character, but
you're
yeah,
right.
that applies to the
That's where
director
it
as
stems
well.
from. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because it literally
and
is a movie about the director. It's a self insert for
yeah,
sure.
because to be fair, it's like that's something that I have to. I know I have to be uh, conscious of in my life. But it's unlike the director, I like to practice a little self reflection and
Yeah, like
try to
most of the
avoid
time,
that,
it's just in our head.
right? Because the reality is that you don't actually know a person all the time. You just know a
You
percentage of
know,
that person
version
that
of them. Yeah, yeah, that's
yeah.
exactly.
So you know,
And like a missionary said, it's like that excellent comic. I'm not familiar with that. Is that a like an indie comic or? 'Cause it doesn't ring a bell. Do you know?
no, I don't think I've heard of it.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry,
You'll have to
Mecha Missionary.
share it with me when you get a chance. Unless you're talking about Bill and Ted's excellent comic book, which I doubt you're talking about, or is it Excellence by Image Comics? Because there's
Is that
also a
what it
comic
is?
series called Excellence. Oh my god! Oh no! Well, hold on a second, because
Oh, I see it. So
I
that one called excellent. Oh, okay.
it's this comic
Oh,
right here.
in relation to the Magical Negroes movie. Is that
Yeah,
got it? Got it.
Excellence. Read the first issue. Well, we got that. We
Oh,
got our comic of the week. Hold on a second. Spencer Dales was born into a world of magic. His ages a society of black musicians, ordered by their unseen masters to better the
oh.
lives.
So is this what the movie was based off of? Like the what inspired
I
it?
doubt it. When did this come out?
Mm.
I'm curious. Image comic. When did it come out? It doesn't say, but let
So
me look
it's
at the.
black people with superpowers and slavery
Yeah,
still.
exactly, because that happens in the movie.
How does that?
It's like-
Yeah, like how does that?
I love the narrative that I love the narrative how that black people and see that we were all powerful and yet you
Yeah,
know
you're still slaves.
slavery. Yeah,
Well, well, the people that had the powers, they were the ones that owned the slaves. That's why, because black people own slaves too. In
well
fact, the
you know
first
let's
person to
not
own a
talk about
slave for
that.
life was a black man. He won it fair and square in
Well, in
court
America, yeah,
in America. Yeah, in America. So all the magical Negroes probably owned slaves. That's why slavery still they had magic, so they could be owners
see the
instead
broken
of slaves.
system. Yeah, all right, this all right. This is I'm already getting bored, but yeah, I don't. The reason I said oh no is because the guy
Yeah.
looks like
Okay.
the main
Okay.
character looks like what's his name? Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther. Um, what was the bad guy's name?
Killmonger.
Yeah, he looks like Killmonger. So I just kind of like,
Yeah. Oh, so there's another
it's one of
black
these.
superpower blacks with slavery also. I know there was one years ago. It was a crowd fund, and it was about a world where black people acquired superhuman abilities, and
Yeah,
it was only black
yeah, it
people.
was only black. I know about that one.
That
Yeah.
was in a 20th century context, though. It wasn't like the blacks always had power. It was just one day something happened.
No, I'm pretty sure it was also the same thing because I know
No,
what comic you're
no, it
talking
wasn't.
about.
It was like current day. Like they acquired powers, and it became a problem, right? Like it scared people. It was a whole it shook up society, right? Like how would people respond? What would be the reaction of it? It wasn't. They always had powers. It was they suddenly acquired powers, but it was only black people that had powers. I believe that was the premise, and I thought that was
Also,
interesting.
what is Black AF? Are you talking about the Netflix? So this is a Netflix series apparently called. That's a
I don't
sitcom.
know. No, I think he was talking. It was another comic. So,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, that's interesting. Excellent. So, yeah, but that's
We just need to bring back Meteor Man. We just need to bring back
yeah, why
White
not?
Man.
Yeah, at least he tried to help his community. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, he said it was a comic. Okay, yeah, that's something we should do one day. Is
We
all
need
the
to bring back
black
what was
comics.
that movie you showed me? Bum Rush the Show or what it was called?
Bum rush the show. I don't know what you're talking
No, it was the
about. I'm
movie you
gonna get
showed
you
me.
sucker. I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm
get
gonna get you sucker. Yeah, I'm gonna get you sucker.
Yeah, that's a classic right there. Yeah, me and
Yeah,
my
we
family
we
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 watched.
we
I'm gonna
peaked
get
at
you,
that movie.
and it was just as funny as it was when I first saw it when it first came out. It's an excellent movie,
Yeah.
made by Keenan Ivory Wayans, the Wayans brothers. Uh, Listen, Kenny Ivory Wayans is probably one of the most brilliant filmmakers ever. I don't think he gets enough props. Him and his brothers, to be honest, they've done a lot of cool stuff, a lot of great movies. So I'm sure there's stuff they've done behind the scenes that we don't even probably don't even realize, like writing, directing, producing. Yeah, the Wayne's family, like, yeah. You want to talk about black excellence? That's a good example of black
Yeah,
excellence.
black cinema peaked at "I'm gonna get you, sucker."
No,
it's,
seriously, it's a funny movie, man. It's one of the funny, and it's a reflection of the time. Like it really does a good job of being culturally relevant and all that. So it's
but it's
it's
still good. It's still a funny movie. It's like
they did
entertaining.
scary movie and all that. Scary movie
Yeah,
franchise. That's the Wayne brothers. So yeah, like yeah, these guys they were always plugged in, man. Like hilarious, just great fun
yeah.
stuff.
Just go watch this movie. Just go watch "I'm gonna get you, sucker,"
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
it.
it. That's all you need to. That's all you ever
Yeah,
need to watch.
and ironically, is he in this movie too?
Who?
I don't remember.
Who?
Um, David Allen Greer. Um,
Uh, if I see
I
what
don't
he
know.
looks like,
I don't think so. I don't think he's in this movie. So it'd be kind of
well,
kind of funny if he is. But and listen, David Allen Greer is hilarious. He was great on Living Color. He was
oh
hilarious.
yeah, he was on Living Color. Yeah.
Um, but I can try to remember if he was. I don't think he was though, because
No,
there
I
was a
don't
lot.
recognize.
The Kenan Ivory Wayans is in this. Damon Wayans. Um,
Who played the kung fu guy? He was funny.
I don't. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. Um,
That
gotta
was
go.
hilarious.
Yeah, this whole movie is great. If you haven't seen this movie, you have to watch this movie. If you want a good laugh, watch it. Especially if
Yeah.
you're around my age or a fan of like '90s culture, pop culture and all that. Watch this movie. You'll love it. So um, yeah, maybe we'll start doing that, recommending some like classic stuff like this because you should
I
also watch
think
scary movie. Scary movie is
you know it's funny. I know I shared the story before when I was working at for the school district. These kids, I guess they had some kind of black student club at the high school, and they needed me to help set up the theater for movie night. And like one of the students, they're like, "Yeah, we got some movies picked out." I'm like, "Oh, what movies you pick up?" And it was Get Out, Black Panther, and that was it. And I'm like, "That's it? That's all you have?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah." Like they were like, "Yeah, duh." I'm like, "Oh my god!" And so like I had to like write down a bunch of, and they specifically want like scary movies. Well, no, they had Black Panthers. I don't. I'm like, that's not scary.
that's not
But
scary.
but I had to like I listed down everything that you showed me and everything that I grew up on. So like the Candyman. I don't even like Candyman. Candyman. Um, what's it called? You know, I just put down the Boondocks just because I probably shouldn't have done that. I put what was it? The Wiz. I put out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the
Yeah, Don't
Wizards.
Be a Menace.
Yeah, that's another one.
Uh,
It's Wayne Brothers too. Don't be a
yeah,
menace.
I was like, how you gonna have a black movie night and you just have black? Like that's probably the worst thing you could put. Like, come
Well,
on, man. Meteor Man.
yeah, that's a good one. I mean, there's a
Like,
lot of classic stuff too, like Richard Pryor movies. There's a lot of we
I
watched
don't, I don't think they're ready for
one
Richard Pryor.
one with Cicely Tyson.
Yeah, yeah, Bust and Loose. Yeah, that was actually a good wholesome movie. I wasn't
It really
expecting
was.
that.
It's a beautiful movie. It really is. Yeah. And then there's Which Way Is Up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
So
finally saw Harlem Nights in its entirety like
yeah,
last
Harlem
week.
Nights
It
is
was
good.
good.
That's Eddie Murphy. That
That
was
was
a
a
nice
funny movie.
homage to like the classic black comedians and actors like Red Fox. Richard Pryor.
Yeah, Red Fox was in it.
I don't even think. I think that was the first time they were in a movie together. Richard Pryor, Red Fox, and Della Reese. I don't think
Oh
they've ever
really?
done
Funny.
anything together in the same movie. That's what's kind of crazy about it.
Interesting.
So Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall were responsible for that. And they had Jasmine Guy, which I had a big crush on Jasmine Guy back in the day. She was beautiful. So yeah, that was a great movie. And but then go back to Sidney Poitier and any of his movies. And that's the thing. Like, black cinema has been around. It didn't start in the '70s with black exploitation,
No.
right? It started way before that, but you just didn't call it that, right? It was called black cinema because of what was called coined the Chitlin Circuit. It was a certain kind of movie that would be made that was coined as black exploitation because it was just unapologetically all black, right? And it was in the urban areas, urban cities, things like that. And that's fine, but it painted a very one-sided image of black people in America, which is we're all in these urban centers and we're all, ghetto, and we're prostitutes and hookers or something, or we're out there
Yeah. Yeah.
hustling, or and it's like, well, obviously there's a lot more to black people than just that, right? And like I said, if you go back far enough, you'll see there's, and like I said, Sidney Poitier is a great example of, he did a lot of great movies that had nothing to do with black urban life. It was
Yeah.
just about a man being a man, in this world. So, um, like, I'm trying to think of the title of, I think we talked about it before. One where he meets the nuns, and
What?
yeah,
What
he meets the,
movie is that? Who was
trying to
who
remember,
was in it? Who was in it?
Sidney Poitier.
Oh, Cindy and the Portier. You talking about the one where he's a teacher?
No, that's that's what we saw. No, Lilies in the Field. That's what it's called. Lilies in the
Oh,
Field.
okay, I never saw that one. We watched
19,
In the Heat of the Night.
yeah, and He Didn't Night is another good one.
That was a great movie. I like
And we
that
talk
movie.
about racial tension. Listen, that movie really touches on it very well, and it does it with a lot of very well
Yeah,
done
that actually had me on the edge of my seats.
subtext to it. It's not as ham fisted as a lot of, like, you compare that to the Society of Magical Negroes, right? Where it's very ham fisted and it lacks subtlety and
It's
nuance.
well, it's simultaneously ham fisted and so milk
No,
toast.
it's not. It's not. It's not. It's. Are you talking about the Society of Magical Negroes?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking like
No,
it
I'm talking
tries to
about
be
the
like.
Heat of the Night. And the Heat of the Night is very nuanced and
No, of
subtle,
course, yeah,
and it's done very well. Where you want to watch it and you want to root for the main character, but you also find yourself rooting for the supporting characters,
yeah.
and
The
you find
policeman.
out there's more to them than what meets the eye, right?
Yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's good storytelling because it tells you the truth. And at the end of the day, the truth is, we're all equal. We're all men. We all bleed, right? We're all capable of corruption. It's the human heart, the human condition, and that's kind of what I'm saying. Because there's a strong theme of truth, the movie does well. It's well received, right? Same with Lilies in the Field, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
I want to recommend these movies because it's like they're beautiful, wonderful movies that feature a black man as a lead, and they're well acted, for number one. Period. Like, Sidney Poitier is just an excellent actor, and but you see him as a man. Like, he's not just a black man; he's a man, and he's in these situations and he's dealing with these people, and it's just done so well. So yeah, check it out. If you get a chance. And but yeah, check out I'm Going to Get You, Sucker, too. That's hilarious. Like, it's just a funny movie. Like, whether it's a black movie or not, it's a funny movie. Like,
Oh yeah,
you,
it's just a great movie.
yeah, it's I don't care what you are, you're gonna like this movie. If you like comedies, you're gonna like this movie. That's it. Um,
Hey, if you like action movies, you'll like
yeah,
this
if you
movie
like
too.
action, you like comedy, you like kung fu, you're gonna like this movie. So it's kind of wild, and especially if you're a fan of, like, retro stuff, like retro '70s, you'll definitely appreciate it. So it pokes fun at a lot of that stuff. So, um, but yeah, that's all I have. I don't know if you want to touch on anything else.
Uh no, that's it. Just go watch I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Go play Kirby Air Riders. And
And
go watch Major
be
Man.
excellent.
Yeah, in that order.
Yeah, be excellent. Not because you're black, but because you're human and you want to do great things. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have a super galactic Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you around.